and welcome to the latest episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I'm your host, John. With me this week is Michael.
I'm playing with my nose.
You're playing with your nose?
I'm wiggling it with my fingers.
Okay.
Michael's picking his nose.
Yep. I picked this one.
Ugh,
I don't really have another choice.
that was bad.
Great.
That was really bad.
Thanks.
Andy is here.
Hello, I'm sick.
Yeah, the PAX Pox. Yeah, feel better soon.
It's
Andy,
not so
please.
bad. I think there's people who have it way worse than I do right now. But I also came in direct contact with those people, so you know.
Well, fine then. Let's feel better less soon,
let's
motherfucker.
see if anything develops.
Maybe you're the carrier.
Ooh, I like that.
It's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's your fault. No, I for real though. I hope that you do feel better.
Thank
soon.
you, John.
Ryan, you're here.
Yes. Hello, it's been a while, John.
It has been. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad everyone is here, and I'm glad that whoever's listening to this is listening to it.
Sure.
Folks, I'm ready to talk about what's been going on for the past week, cause it's time to hunker down and it's time to get going. Talk about games. 'Cause honestly, I'm just trying to keep my mind off of the terror that awaits in the next few days. Anyway, let's keep it posy.
Okay.
All
right, I like that.
Yeah, let's keep it
vibes
posy,
only.
folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep it posy. I'm trying to think what's a good positive thing that occurred this week.
The temperature dropped. It's
That's
no
good.
longer in the upper 90s in Texas. It's like 75, so that's good.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
I got my car fixed.
Hey,
I can
good
drive
job.
now.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to using my car to travel,
Yeah.
to go
That's a good use
to go
for it.
to
Mm-hmm.
to go to other places that are not normally accessible by walking or riding a bike or other things. You know.
Interesting. Sounds fake, but okay.
Michael, can you tell us a positive thing that happened this week to you?
I got to hang out with all of you.
You said positive.
Oh, the times I wasn't hanging out with any of you.
Damn.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you had some positivity in there instead
Yeah.
of being surrounded by our bullshit. You know.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was very nice. Some of it was filled with sleeping, which is really good. Let me tell you. I don't know if you guys have heard about this.
Going to sleep.
Mhm.
I slept till
Yes.
6:30 p.m. today, Michael. I'm an expert.
When did you pass out originally?
So, 6 a.m., because I'm on West Coast time still.
So that's solid 12 and a half hours.
Well, you're sick, so it's understandable. Yeah. Andy, I would ask you what's a positive thing that happened, but how about we just get into it then?
Sure.
How about we talk about all the nice things that happened while you're at PAX?
Yeah, PAX was great.
Cool.
Where do you want to start?
Just hit us with the chronological. Just give us all the stuff that went down that you can talk about. That you,
All of it.
I can't talk about all of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's okay.
so,
There are
you
some
know.
secrets that we must take to the grave.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, I guess the big thing. I can only really go chronologically with panel stuff because the games all kind of blend together.
Understandable.
So I had the PAX Rumble, which was super fun to be part of. Everyone there was incredibly nice. It was a really positive experience. Bit of a clusterfuck. I did not do great, but it was really fun, and my bit went down well, so I can't really complain.
Sure.
I mean, you did good comparatively, didn't you? No, really. I thought they just released the stats today, and you were weren't you at least in the top 10?
I was in the bottom 10, but I was number 10 of the bottom 10. So I was technically the least worst.
Okay.
That's
well,
not no.
that's not bad.
then
Yeah,
no
that's
one-
how it works.
No, that's not how. All right,
Yeah, that's how it works.
number
like that
one
sometimes.
worst player.
I was better than 9 people, so. I also went to the Waypoint panel, which was really nice. I helped out by holding a questions bucket and sorting questions for them. So I got, it was nice to see those folks over there. And then the Giant Bomb panel was also pretty fun to go to and see everybody there as well.
Sure.
Game-wise, though, that's kind of the thing that I can talk about more and that you guys might actually have questions about, is I saw some really cool shit, and...
Wait, hold on. I have
Yeah?
questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you eat at Buffalo Wild Wings?
No!
Did you eat any leftover Buffalo Wild Wings?
No.
Oh. Did you eat any leftover heinous hamburger concoctions?
No.
All right, that's all I got.
I
Not-
didn't.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
they ate that fresh.
Yeah, I didn't like that hesitation on answering that question.
So-
Tells me there's more to the story.
The McBurg, is a
You should
Mike...
explain what the McBurg is.
The McBurg is a Mike Cosmano, Niall collaboration, where Niall had a dream that
Nightmare.
Mike made a burger for McDonald's. And that burger was a Big Mac with nothing on it except a dollop of ketchup.
Yeah, so it's sesame seed bun, ketchup, patty, bun, patty, bun. That's it.
Yeah.
No cheese, no lettuce.
No
Oh,
ketchup
that
on the second
sucks.
burger, either.
Yeah, just one drop, bit of ketchup. That's it.
So when Mike learned about this dream, he had to make it reality because the slogan was "Everybody likes it."
Yeah, that was the slogan in the dream that Mike came up with.
Nightmare.
Everybody likes it.
Nightmare.
Nightmare, yes.
Nightmare.
And so on our second night in, Mike is just like, "Hey, we're gonna go to McDonald's," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I can eat." And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get 2 Big Macs with nothing on them, and then put some ketchup on them." And I was just like, I felt.
Why two?
Uh-huh.
I like to think that it was a feeling similar to when people realized that the Hindenburg was going down. Just an impending sense of dread and the knowledge that you couldn't do anything about it.
Why two? Why did he get 2 of them?
He wanted one from me.
Did you eat?
I didn't eat the
The
whole
second-
fucking thing. I took 1 bite and almost yarfed.
Oh God.
So they put cheese on them, which he took off for the authentic experience. I left on because I didn't want to vomit.
Uh-huh.
And I think it might have made it worse if I'm being honest, because...
Yeah.
So, the taste sensation of the McBurg is very dry.
Yeah.
Um,
I would think so.
I could guess.
because there's 3 buns, and McDonald's meat is not good. So what that ends up happening is the ketchup, 1, gets very warm, and 2, everything just kinda becomes sticky. And then when you add the semi-melted cheese to that,
Uh-huh.
it feels like you're chewing on silly putty.
Uh,
So I didn't enjoy that.
no, I wouldn't think so.
So I had 1 bite, he ate the entire thing. And filmed it. It's bad.
Yeah, there's I don't know if we're gonna release that video, but I've seen it.
I feel like we can't release it publicly because that might hurt his, life.
Professional reputation.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's gonna get leaked onto the dark web. There's gonna be all these snuff films, and then right underneath it, the McBurg.
That's too extreme for the dark web, man. So yeah, that was the nightmare.
Video games. Move on. I can't think about the McBurg anymore. I can't.
Yeah, so I guess I'll talk first about the stuff that I had, appointments for, because there wasn't too many. One I really want to talk about, because I know, John, you were super interested in this, was Necro Barista.
Yes.
So Necro Barista is a game. Actually, I don't know the studio name off the top of my head. Hold on. But it's from an Australian developer called Route 59. Okay, and it's coming out like next month. And it's sort of this. I don't know if visual novel is the right thing, but it is. It kind of felt like a visual novel. It just wasn't in the typical format. I'll be honest. It's kind of hard for me to say what it was because the demo was really short. And I really like the style of it, but, like, I still don't even really know what the gameplay is like, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's basically, the PAX demo was, like, a little scene between, like, two characters that were making a bet that involved, like, taking the life, like, 2 hours of another character's life or something. And then it was that knife game where you, like, stab in between your fingers from, like, Aliens. Anyway, what actually, like, happened after that bet ended was, like, the scene went into this tableau, and you were able to sort of, like, look around it and move around it and click on different things to get, like, more info about them. Mm-hmm. And then, like, during the cutscene itself, you can click on certain words to register them as keywords, which kind of reminded me of Orwell. In a little bit.
Right.
But I never really got to use those, and I don't know if it was just me missing something, or if it was just that this little vertical slice was supposed to be more tone-setting than showing off these mechanics. But it's definitely one that I'm going to keep an eye out for, because just something about the way they did the visual style, because it's very minimal animation. It's a lot of, like, there's some movement, but it's a lot of just, like, sudden jump cuts to different tableaus.
Is this like a 2D visual novel?
No, it's 3D. That's what I was saying. Like, it's a 3D game, and you can explore a 3D environment that's paused. Like, it's frozen in time.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was... I don't know, like... I'm having a lot of trouble describing it, honestly, but that's because, like... It seems really cool. Like, that's the best I can say about it, is it seems like the type of thing that I'm gonna dig. It just... I don't have a lot of concrete info on it.
Sure.
Got any questions about it, or...?
I mean, I have questions, but it doesn't sound like you'd be able to answer them, so maybe not.
I mean, you could go for it.
I just don't think I quite understand exactly what this game is from, like, the ground up.
I feel like it's something you're gonna have to see, like, in motion, unfortunately.
Sure. Yeah.
So, sorry for not being able to explain it as clearly as I'd like.
Fair enough. You know, it happens.
After that, the other, like, cool thing I saw that I had an appointment for was this game called We the Revolution. I know I told Michael about it. And it's from, I think, it was at the Polish developer booth. So it's from a Polish developer, I'm assuming. Anyway,
I would think so.
They just snuck in to the Polish Center. Yeah.
They're from Canada, like, we are Polish, huh?
At least it's a Polish publisher, I believe. It's being published by Klavitter. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. Sorry in advance. Or in hindsight, I don't know. Anyway, you're playing as this judge during the French Revolution. Mm-hmm. And it's got, like, 3 different, like, gameplay types. The main one being, like, you are proceeding over trials, and you are the jury as well as, like, you are deciding on the verdict, as well as, like, you know, like, what questions you ask, which changes, like, public perception of the accused. So, like, you can lead the questions in a way that the people will accept that you kill this guy, or you can lead them in a way that, they're fine with them being released, but if you do an option other than what the room is looking for, you'll have some negative, like, you'll have some backlash because of that. And you're trying to keep, like, the revolutionaries, the common folk, and the nobility all happy. So there's sort of this, like, balancing act of all these different things.
Sure, yeah.
There's also, like, this political intrigue element to it, where you're sending out spies to different regions of France to either root out other spies trying to undermine you, or get information that you can use, because you're also trying to climb the political ladder without getting your head guillotined, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It also looks amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've only seen a few images, but if you Google it and look at it, it has like it looks different. I can't think of another video game that looks quite like it.
It's all hand drawn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's why they had to delay it. It was going to be out spring next year, I think, but they delayed it, and they don't have a concrete date because they're waiting on more assets, which I think is worth it because the look of that game does a lot for it.
Yeah. Is it I guess visual novel-y, where it's just you're looking at static screens, or does it move? Does it animate?
It does animate. Primarily, the animations happen in these cutscenes after cases when you're at home. Like, your judge has a family, you have children and a wife, and, like, you can see what effect the cases you're trying are having on your family as well. So, like, you can drive your family apart by doing the things you're doing and stuff.
It's neat that they take, like, that kind of management sim approach to it, but also like a typical kind of Professor Layton kind of like, oh, it's just a court game, but also it has longer reaching effects in several different ways. I like that approach.
Yeah. I neglected to mention this when I was talking about the courtroom stuff, but the way you get questions is by linking information together. So you're given this like wheel of different like elements. And like there's a description you read too of like the things that happen, so you're kind of given clues on what to link. But it reminds me a lot of the Miles Edgeworth Investigations game, where you have to link things in your logic system, and that'll lead you to having new questions. And this works a lot in the same way, but unlike that one, if you get it wrong too many, sometimes they get grayed out. At least that's what happened to me. I don't know if I'm misinterpreting what happened, but I tried getting information from a thing a couple times, and it didn't work either way. And then that option was grayed out.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that should be out sometime next year. I'm very optimistic about it so far. It's pretty neat. I know this is one you really wanted me to see, John. UFO 50.
Yes.
So
is that the collection game?
Yeah. So for people who don't know what UFO 50 is, it's a game. I believe it's not fully developed by. It's like curated by the developers of Spelunky.
Yeah, they're curating, and I guess the best way to put it is saying they're leading the project.
Yeah. Basically, what this is, as you kind of assumed from both the name and the discussion we have now, I'm assuming, is it's 50 sort of old school, like, styled games that you can play through. And they're all pretty intuitive and pretty simplistic for the most part. Like, the demo was set up with a NES, like, USB controller. So it's all, like, 2-button and D-pad games.
Oh, that's
nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I imagine that'll have... have they announced what that's being released on? I know PC, but that's about it.
PC is the only thing they've said.
Okay.
I could have sworn they mentioned PS4 as well, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
I'm on their website right now, and it just says PC.
Because I was going to say that I feel like it would work really well on the Switch with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, they had, at the booth I was on, apparently, like, there were demos with, like, different numbers of games, I think. But there was about 39 of them unlocked.
Oh, wow.
And since this was on the show floor, I didn't get a chance to play all of them, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the ones I played. There is one that is kind of like samurai air hockey.
Okay.
Where you, like, literally, actually, I think it's ninja more would be the better one, because you have, like, shuriken and stuff. But it's basically, like, a mix between windjammers and, like, Bushido Blade. Is the best I could put it. Maybe not Bushido Blade, but, like, you jump, like, do, like, weird ninja flips to get around, and you hit it with your sword back at the other net, and then you can throw shuriken or kunai at your opponent to, like, stun them. That one was really cool. What else did I play that really stood out there? There was, like, this soccer platformer thing where it was, like, it kind of reminded me of Bubble Bobble a little bit, just in the level layout.
And
Okay.
Bubble Bobble
and
is all-time
Let me explain what I mean, though. By that I mean, like, there's a room full of platforms, and you have to take out all the enemies. It's not like the same system as Bubble Bobble.
Sure, yeah, it's not Bubble Bobble.
Yeah, it was just like, that's the first and most immediate example of this sort of layout I could think of. And basically what you are is you're a soccer player, and you're trying to kick or header this ball into all these opponents before they can hit you. And that's how you progress, and it felt really fun. I should also say, the sprite work in all of these games is gorgeous.
That's cool.
Yeah, like, the art style's really great.
Alright, anything else you want to bring up?
From UFO 50, I'm kind of trying to think of anything. There was, like, there was an arena shooter I played that was alright. Kind of like a, side-scrolling Metroid-controlled thing.
Okay.
But you're against other people. There was, like, some scrolling shooters. Like, it's got a lot of diversity in the types of games that are in there, so I think it's gonna end up being pretty neat. But that's kind of, like, it for, what I can really remember about UFO 50, because I had to really scramble through it, because I did not have much time with it.
Yeah, you didn't answer my burning question.
What was your burning question again?
It's okay that you didn't.
Oh, the Cheetah Man looking level. There was.
I wanted to ask if there was a game that they like were touting as the central game, like Action 52 did with the Cheetah Man.
Oh, see, I don't know. I think if there would be one, I got the feeling it was one of the ones that wasn't unlocked for me yet.
Sure.
Because there was one whose genre was literally just question mark, question mark, question mark.
Ooh.
Which felt like... And it was called, like, Warp Tank or something like that. So, you know.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
In their trailer, they were pretty careful not to, like, highlight any one game over another. It was like, look at all these fucking crazy games.
I think
sure,
that's
and
the
you know
best way to do it.
Yeah, like that's fine. I'm not saying that's bad, but also I just love making Cheetah Man jokes.
Don't we all?
John, at least you're honest.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like you're right that it is probably for the best for that game where it's like this is a cohesive group of games that they are all equal, but also I want the I want them when that game comes out to be like, oh, by the way, somehow we got the rights to the Cheetah Man, and Cheetah Man 3 is in this. Like, that's what I want.
Amazing.
I do want to say there was a game that kind of had like an Altered Beast Cheetah Man-y look to it, so...
Well, I hope it sucks, because both of those games are really bad, so...
I did not play anything in that sucked, so...
Alright, then, well, you know...
Good.
I mean, like I said, I got like a real vertical slice of it. There could be some stinkers in there. I'm not gonna sign off on the game completely, but you know, I liked it.
Not to talk shit, but when you've got 50 games, something's not gonna click. Yeah. But I'm sure a majority of them are going to. Like you said, pretty much everything you played was good. So, you know, I'm definitely interested in that game still.
Yeah, that's out next year, I believe.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one, actually, I've got two more to talk about. Sorry for taking up all the airtime. The next one is actually one that I was really curious to try because I know Michael, John, and I talked about this. Biomutant.
Yeah.
So
you got to
go ahead.
You got to play. Sorry, you got to play that at PAX?
Yes, I did.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, I got THQ Nordic managed to squeeze me in for a demo, which was very nice of them. So some footage of that came out at Gamescom, and it didn't look like it felt great just from that footage.
It looked weird. It I was intrigued by the leak / announcement because it is like a I don't even know how to describe it. You are like a mutant cat rat thing, right?
Raccoon, I think. Or maybe not.
Yeah, it's kind of like a raccoony cat thing. You can actually sort of customize it a little.
Yeah, you can mutate it the way you want, and then the trailer made it seem like you mutated yourself to give you more powers, and then they called it like Kung Fu Open World, and then that demo from Gamescom was walk into this room, attack these 3 or 4 dudes, walk into the next room, and repeat.
So I played that demo.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same demo, and it plays way better than it looks.
Yeah, because that was my worry. I thought it looked okay, but then once I started seeing the gameplay, it just looked so stiff, and that's what turned me off.
So I guess I'll just kind of like. So the demo was definitely like a sped up progression of the game. Like they gave you more abilities and stuff. But the abilities in that definitely keep it from feeling just like you're hitting X or Y a lot.
Sure.
Particularly the fact that, like, your combos change depending on, like, if you're dodging, if you're holding down the left bumper, you do, like, more AoE or stronger stuff. And then you've also got ranged attacks with this gun, which you can throw like a boomerang, and it'll shoot while you throw it, which fucking ruled. But the big thing that I really liked was that you get these sort of, when I was talking to Mike about it, he kind of compared it to fucking, what was that game? Not Infamous, the one, Prototype.
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of felt like prototype-y mutations. So what happens is you're just kind of walking around in the demo, and at a certain point, your character will like freak out a little, and then all of a sudden you have this new mutation. So, like, the ones I got to play with were telekinesis, this one that makes mushrooms sprout up that you can jump on, so you can do platforming stuff with them.
That's pretty sick, actually.
I really like that one a lot. That one was my favorite because I was just thinking about, like, the open world element of it. Like, it looked like it made that really cool. And there was one where you can, like, spit out moths that sort of, like, harass the enemy so they're not attacking you.
Everything you're saying to me sounds like the coolest shit of all time. If I could make mushrooms sprout and like spit moths, I would be in heaven. My God.
No, it's fucking really neat. And then like there's the way. So at one point in the demo, I got to change from the standard like two-handed sword to like you can craft your own weapon, and like that has different elements on it and shit like that. So I got this, like, one-handed ice sword, and it felt, like, completely different. I felt way faster, and, like, it affected enemies differently, obviously, because the ice element, and it was really neat. I didn't get to do any open-world stuff, obviously, but,
yeah, doesn't the demo end, like, right as you get to the open world?
The last thing you do is pee on the ground to mark your territory, and then you go into the open world, which, you know... There's some tonal stuff in the game I'm not a huge fan of. Primarily the sort of like cartoony Guardians of the Galaxy almost comic book stuff to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like I got a real fucking Rocket Raccoon vibe from bits of this.
Okay.
That being said, I think it plays great, and it's so there's a narrator to it, and in the demo, Gamescom demo, that was super obnoxious. I felt like they dialed it back a little.
I saw a headline somewhere saying that you can change how much that narrator talks to you.
That's great, because they dialed it back a lot in the demo I played, and it was fine, but I kind of want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I saw somewhere, I didn't click on it because I didn't care about a narrator slider, but I mean, I saw that headline somewhere, so maybe you can get rid of it or reduce it somehow.
In this case, I would say caring about a narrator slider is a good thing to care about, because it's, you know, not great.
It's also hard to tell in a demo, and not only a demo, but like a demo of the opening area. It's really difficult to tell, is this narrator through the whole game, through the beginning of the game, turned on extra because these are demos, especially at Gamescom, as a public show. Totally. So are they turned on so that when people who from the public go up and play it, they know how to do everything? You know, it's so hard to tell, and it's still in development. So
that is actually a good point, because I was on the system they were showing to press, not the one that was open to the public. So that might be different. You're right.
Yep.
But yeah, that game was cool. Oh, the customization stuff I wanted to touch on really quick. So you can kind of choose your character's build a little. Like there's just like a kind of. You guys remember Saints Row 2 sliders?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, like that, or like the Fallout 4 slider thing. There's basically that, and it affects your stats. It'll affect like your damage or your HP, depending on how bulky or how like, scrawny you are. And like, it's not like a triangle, it's like a hexagon, so there's like a bunch of different ways you can morph that character. And I don't know what future customization is like in the game, obviously, but you gotta choose like your fur color, and like the type of fur you have, which some of it looks real Tress Effects janky to me. But again, this game's still in development, so like this was like an alpha build, I think.
Yeah.
And then I got one more game that I really like. Saved this for last because it's kind of my game of the show. So I really like Advance Wars, you guys.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
And so this development team that I'm blanking on. I should have wrote this down more, but my head's swimming, so I can't really. This game called Tiny Metal is being developed, and it is like a spiritual successor to Advance Wars. This isn't. There was another one that's like a medieval Advance Wars type thing coming from. I can't remember the studio off the top of my head, but that was shown at like E3's PC game thing last year.
Yeah.
This is for PS4, Switch, and I want to say PC. I didn't hear anything about Xbox while I was there.
Yeah, PS4, Switch, and PC coming this year.
It felt like it could have come this year. Like, it felt pretty done, if I'm being honest. It was a long demo. I didn't get to finish the whole demo. There were like 5 maps that you could play on.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like a logical extension of Advance Wars.
Okay.
It has all the same stuff. It has like capturing buildings. It has the like straight up your 2 infantry units are like a light infantry and then an infantry with bazooka to take out tanks. And then like the light infantry are better at scouting, which is straight from Advance Wars. But what's new is they've added different types of attacks, so you can reposition your opponents with your attacks, or you can do, like, co-op attacks by having them go into, like, an Overwatch mode, and then having another unit attack with them. So they've added a lot of different, like, ways for you to strategize on that. That's not just, like, unit goes here and does this, and then this one attacks as well. Like, there are more ways to sort of keep your army alive, I guess, is the way I'd put it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that game's really fucking cool. I'd really recommend people giving it a look. It's not a huge team, as far as I can tell, but
Area 34 is the name of the dev team.
It's a Japanese developer, I believe, or at least the there is a contingent of that team based in Japan, and it's got this really nice art style to it. Sort of like a mix between like really nice, nicely drawn character portraits for like the commanding officers, and then this sort of I don't want to say low poly, but like kind of that aesthetic.
It reminds me of Kingdoms and Castles. Like the low poly is the best way to put it. Like low, like nice, very nice looking isometric kind of viewpoint and nice looking models and stuff.
Yeah, like it almost feels like toy-like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of it for what I saw at PAX. I definitely recommend checking out any of those. We're probably going to try and cover a few of them.
Of course.
But those were sort of the standouts for me.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff I wanted to play that I didn't get to, the chief ones being Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Both were fucking insanely busy.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's understandable, and we'll play those when they come out, probably.
Oh yeah.
All right, Andy. Anything else you want to talk about, real quick?
Not for games I've played really. Like, I haven't had much time to play anything that's really current. A lot of just like, oh, I got Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright to play on my plane, and that game is weird, but all right.
I like that game a lot.
That game's cool. That game is like weirdly a very good introduction to Professor Layton, not to Professor Layton, to Phoenix Wright. Because they added the hint system for the trials.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's also pretty good intro to Professor Layton as well, because that was the first Layton game I ever played. So I played that, and then eventually I was like, "Oh, get Curious Village," because I found it for cheap, and then I played that, and I liked it. So
Nice.
now I was the big Ace Attorney man, and now I'm the Professor Layton motherfucker.
Hell yeah, bitch! Welcome to the team.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, Andy. Ryan, it's been a while since we talked to you.
It has been a while, John. I'm glad you noticed my plight, my absence, if you will.
What's been going on? Anything you want to update us on?
Yeah, John, for the last month or so, however long it's been, I've been on a journey of self-discovery,
I see.
I've crossed mountains, I've dug ditches, I've ridden down the rivers of hope and emotion to the seas of love for my fellow man, and I've discovered things about myself and the world around me, and I got a pretty sick back tattoo while I was at it, so it's cool. I'm cool now.
Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's the back tattoo of?
John, I'm glad you asked. I was raring to go on that. So you know me. You know how I like spooky things, if you will, and of course, everyone's favorite cryptid, Mothman, correct?
Yes, of course.
So my new piece, my new ink, if you will, it's on my back. It's Mothman. He's kind of just like standing there in the middle, and his wings come out like on my shoulder blades, like a sick like bird kind of thing. And then on the left wing it says "Are you?" and on the right wing it says "Nasty," with a question mark. So on my back I now have a tattoo of Mothman spreading his wings and asking, "Are you nasty?" And that's kind of me. It's who I am deep down, I think.
Ryan, I'm gonna be honest. I'm like only maybe 60% sure this is a bit.
Are you asking a question, or are you making a statement?
And a part of me doesn't want to know. Part of me just wants to like let this linger, I guess.
Yeah, I can show y'all later. Get some concept art. So
okay, sure.
Yeah.
I guess this is just something that we can be incorporated into like all future fan art. Just make sure that you draw Ryan facing backwards. Mothman tattoo. Are you nasty? This is how they have the action figures of like the Minecraft YouTubers and all that. Like when they finally give us the merchandising deal, it's going to be me, and then the chaser figure will be me shirtless with my Mothman tattoo on full display. So hell yes,
yeah, it's good. I've been good, John. I've had I don't think I've been on the podcast in like maybe like a month and a half. I don't really remember that well. Time gets away from me every now and then. But I've been up to some stuff. If you want to hear about the stuff I've been up to, the games I've played.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I guess I can get into that. I'll save my my tales of travel for another episode. The story about how I nursed two cougar twins back to health on the peak of the Appalachian Mountains and all that. But this last week, I had a review drop on the site, and I reviewed Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle for the Nintendo Switch, and I can talk about that if you want to hear the dirty deeds on Kingdom Battle.
Please let us know about it.
Yeah. So, Kingdom Battle, Mario plus Rabbids. I'll admit, in the past month, I've learned to fess up to our mistakes, and we made a mistake when we talked shit about Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle when it was first announced. We said it was a nightmare. We called it unfortunate. We made fun of it on the podcast.
When it leaked, we made fun of it. When it leaked,
of course. Let me be clear. But when they showed it off at E3, we were kind of like, hey, maybe Kingdom Battle is someone I want to know. I see him across the room at the bar. I see that those rabid qualities of the face and the ears, and I'm like, hey, this kind of gets me going.
You get nasty with it.
Yeah. I just turn around and I say, hey, and I whip off my shirt, and it's like, are you nasty? And let me tell you, the Rabbids are most definitely nasty. They are some dirty birds, if you will.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Kingdom Battle, the plot's not really important. Mario and Rabbids, they mash up. It's all very silly. As you may know from seeing gameplay footage, it's kind of like an XCOM game. But I mentioned this in my review. You don't really get kind of a sense of the kind of nuances of Kingdom Battle just from watching the gameplay. I think it's like XCOM in that it has a lot of the same movement. It has the cover system. It has the hit chance percentages, but it's much more based on... It incorporates a lot of environmental factors, like a lot of the levels have stuff like tornadoes, and if you get hit by a tornado, you bounce all over the place. It has a lot of status effects, like really silly stuff, like you can do like a health drain, and it's like vampire. It's like, oh, Rabbid Luigi is a vampire now, I guess. That's cool. And it's a lot of fun. The gameplay is very tight. It kind of, what I really liked about it is that instead of it dropping you into this kind of secretive map where you just kind of have to take things how they come, for the most part, you can see everything that's on the field at once, and from there you can really kind of plan out your strategy. And I think that's definitely a high point of the game in the way it allows you to mix and match your strategy, your characters in your party, what you need to do to kind of solve these strategy battle puzzles, if you will. It's a game that's very difficult at times. It's not an easy game, which I think is what threw me off the most about it, but it certainly gives you everything you need to succeed in the levels. Like, there was never a time where I felt that I was playing it, and I thought, oh, I've lost this level, this game is BS, I hate this. I always felt like there was a way I could improve on the way I had played before, and, retool my strategy to go in and get it right the second or third or fourth time, even, because some of these are very, very difficult levels, and that's not to say the difficulty is without fault, because I do think there are some escort missions that are pretty poorly designed in the grand scheme of things. But, overall, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because you can just go read my review that's up on the site. Overall, it's a great game for anyone who likes strategy games, anyone who has a Switch. If you're a fan of the Rabbids, I guess, if that's what honks your horn, I suppose, then by all means, check this out. If you're a Mario fan, it's a really great kind of left turn, odd installment in the Mario franchise, but a really good one. Like, really good. Like, this game's fantastic. I would love to see, maybe 2 or 3 years from now, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle 2. I think it's open for that. I think they lay the groundwork for just incredible, strategy gameplay with this game. It's not perfect, it's not the greatest game I've ever played, but it's solid. It's absolutely, absolutely, absolutely worth playing if you're into strategy games. Even if you're not into strategy games, I think it's simple and easy enough to pick up that you will be able to find something you enjoy. And, say what you will about the Rabbids, I think they work great in this game. I think they kind of have their role as these random, kind of unstoppable forces of nature and chaos and atrophy and just hell raining down amongst the Mushroom Kingdom, turning Goombas into well, the Goombas don't turn into anything, but they do get glued to the wall and stuff like that. Putting underwear over Bullet Bill, kind of just what was the Fresh Prince lyric? Turned upside down. That's kind of what the Rabbids have
flip
done.
turn switched upside down, yes.
Yeah, that's the one. And switched upside down being the operative word here, since this is a Nintendo Switch title.
God.
And, I think with the Switch, sometimes games run better, or maybe not run better, but they feel better to play either handheld or TV mode. For example, I think Thumper is a game that feels really good, handheld as opposed to being played on the TV. But Mario plus Rabbids is a game that I think definitely works better as a as a TV game because of how dense it is at times with the information on the screen, like, trying to track enemy position and health and whatnot. So it's better when you have a big picture, but it's still a hell of a lot of fun to play handheld mode. And I think it's a great game for, if you're like at the airport or like, waiting for the bus or something like that. Like, it's a great game to just sit down and, plug like 30, 45 minutes into at a time and then come back to it later.
I have two quick questions.
Yeah, by all means.
One is to the two Switch owners in the call. Since you said there's a difference between like TV mode and handheld mode, does the display actually change enough to where things in UI move around, or is it just pixels are denser on the handheld mode?
It's the same. Like nothing visually changes. Like, I'm just saying because it's on a smaller screen. Yeah, it's just easier to like take in the information of this game like on a bigger screen than it is on a smaller one, which I guess is true for like any game, but you know what I mean.
And then my other question is just to everybody: do you think if this does well, because it's certainly been received well by a lot of critics, and I don't know how well it's selling yet, but if this does well, do you think we see like Mario cross Mortal Kombat? Do you think this fucking...
I don't think we go that far.
Yeah, I know. That's called being facetious. Do you think we see Nintendo like crawl out from behind the giant wall of please don't talk to us, we make our own games?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate considering the console is called the Switch, but I think Nintendo's really trying to jazz things up a bit with the Switch and kind of step outside of, the standard stuff, because Super Mario Odyssey looks completely different. Zelda
I don't think it does.
Was completely different. I mean, I do, but I'm also not super familiar with Mario.
I think it's different enough to feel like they're not leaving their comfort zone fully, but they are like trying to depart from that a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, they've done that before with like Project M, or
Project M,
Other M, whatever the
Other
fucking
M.
yeah.
See, I'm just saying I think this console is going to be much more consistent with those kind of moves for their games.
Maybe. I wouldn't say that the console indicates their changing mood. I think success in business will dictate. And this game would be like a really big... If it did well, if it sold, 2 million copies or something like that, something ridiculous... Or was competing with a Splatoon 2 or a Mario Kart. Well, maybe not Mario Kart, but if it was competing at that level, hopefully they would kind of wake up and not even just with, because they've been doing it for a while with Japanese developers. I want them to coordinate with worldwide developers and the Ubisofts and the other Western developers. Yeah,
I think if you own a Switch and you like strategy games, there is literally no reason for you not to buy this, because this is not a baby level strategy game. Like I said, this game is tough at times, and that's really what kind of threw me off about it. And it's refreshing, but also at times it's almost like too difficult, if that makes sense. But
sure.
I guess if your only caveat about it is that you're afraid it's going to be a very easy game, that is not the case at all. So I highly recommend it. Yes, yeah.
How many times does Luigi dab?
I don't think Luigi actually dabs in the game itself. I think that may have been from like a commercial or like an ad or something, because I got through that whole like ice level of stuff and did not see him dab a single time in the cutscenes, but maybe I missed it. I may have not been looking.
No sale.
No, I'm sorry. You can pretend. One of the characters does say the phrase industrial hellscape. There's a lot of very nihilistic humor for a Mario game.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird game. They talk about rabbits. They walk by a big statue of a rabbit, like on the toilet, and the little robot's like, the name of the statue is Rabbit Building a Log Cabin. I wonder what that means. It's like, okay. Alright. Sure. There's some vague implied jokes about rabid death, I think, in places, but it's a strange game, but it's very good. So I highly recommend it. That's kind of the main thing that I have to talk about on this episode. I have been playing one other game recently that I'd like to bring up, which I know we will talk about later in this episode as well.
Okay.
And that is No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought the Travis the Travis Strikes Again trailer came out. I watched it and I was so viscerally shaken that I immediately went on eBay and bought the first one without even thinking about it.
So you never
And-
played these before?
No, I hadn't.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never touched them either.
Yeah, like I had heard about it from John, but I don't think I ever fully registered like what kind of games these were and like how like just how nuts they are. And so I've been playing the first No More Heroes. I just did either the 6th or 7th ranked battle, the one with the woman with the grenades on the beach,
Oh, that's a
like
good
Holly
one.
Summers, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, that game is fucking fantastic. I love it. I knew I was going to love it, and you know, it's padded out a lot. There's a lot of unnecessary like in between stuff with the
Mhm.
fights, where you have to like grind to get like the money to go to the fights, and that's fine. I think it's kind of funny to like conceptually to have this assassin like mowing the lawn and shit, but it does kind of drag on a bit in places, but otherwise that game is incredible.
The second
And-
one improves a lot on that. I'm just
Yeah.
really shocked that you hadn't played these before because they,
No.
like, aesthetically, they
Mhm.
really feel like they'd be your shit to me.
Yeah, and like playing it, they definitely are, but I just had never interacted with them.
Weird.
And, you know, hopefully the next time I'm on, maybe I'll have finished that and have more to say about it, but really all I have to say about a game that's been talked about so much is just that, yes, it fucking rules. Play No More Heroes if you can, my god. And, that's pretty much it for me on this Game Watch of this week. So, John, I'm gonna take this greasy conversation burger and slide it down the bar to you, and dinner's served, John. It's your turn to hold the conversation.
Well, I'm gonna just kind of parry it and move it over to Michael.
Okay.
Does this have any ketchup on it?
Do you want it to have ketchup on
Everybody
I
likes
ordered
it.
a McBurg. I expect a goddamn McBurg.
it? Well, you can have the McBurg, but it's very greasy. It's a very
Oh,
greasy
wonderful.
McBurg.
That's how I like the McBurg. I've been
Good.
playing the video games.
Tell us about them.
Yeah, in between, like, pure panic from every hurricane update that happens. I've been playing the video games. I picked up Pyre.
Mm-hmm.
That game is dope. That's from the same team that did Transition and that other game whose name I can't remember off the top of my head.
Bastion?
Yeah, Bastion. I've only played Bastion. I didn't really play Transistor. So I've seen Transistor, and I saw that like those two games have a lot in common just at glance. They kind of look similar. They're very isometric-y. And I know they thematically don't have a lot in common, but I've been stricken at how different Pyre feels from either one of those games ever made me feel.
Okay.
But it is very much a Supergiant like game. If you know what those games feel like, look like, play maybe not play like, but like just the emotions they give you, the sense, the place that you feel like you are in when you play those games is unique to their games. Pyre is people describe it as a basketball game, or a sports game, or I think of it as like a bit of a strategy game with a lot of wonderful story and wonderful art in between. You are a reader. You're the only person who can read. And because you can read this specific book, you and this like little band, which is essentially a sports team, you and this band of characters go across these wastelands and have to perform the rites, which are essentially dunking mystical basketballs into enemies' fucking flames. And I do,
my God.
every time I dunk that fucking mystical basketball, I do, like, point at my goddamn computer and go like, dunk every time. I don't know why. Basically. Yeah, and you like each character, you meet more characters along the way. Each character plays differently. Some are shorter and quicker. Some are bigger, slower, but they maneuver differently. Some, if you hold down shift, or I'm playing on the PC. I don't know what it is on PS4. But if you hold down Shift, symbol to sprint. For others, like the big one, you don't sprint. You just kind of leap forward a bit. Almost all of them have like this force that they shoot out in front of them, while others, like the little bird that you pick up, will explode, like self-destruct real quick. And it is all to like grab this mystical ball, dodge your opponents, and get to their goal and dunk it a number of times until their score is 0. And you wash, rinse, repeat. And the rest of the game is very much like a Bastion or I guess a Transistor, where you're collecting items. They boost you a little. They'll give you more quickness, or you can do trials that give you unique items. But the game it's just fun to be in that game. It's fun to be in that world. It looks fucking incredible. The art is... Supergiant's always had really good art. This art blows me away. I've never seen art like this in a video game. It's colorful. It's expressive. It like builds a world just by looking at it. You can tell like one of the rights, I think it's the second one, takes place next to the skeleton of a scorpion that's been crushed by a giant rock.
Nice.
And it just looks amazing. Like, as you approach it, you kind of like, oh, that kind of looks like that's a giant scorpion. That's not a mountain. It's amazing. I'm really glad I picked it up. I forget who, I think it was Niall, was like, that might be more your shit. And Niall was totally right. But that's something that, at the very least, if it doesn't sound like competitive real-time strategy basketball, is your thing, you should certainly like seek out screenshots of that game just to kind of look at it, because it's a joy just to fucking stare at it. There are times where I'm supposed to click and move on to like another area, and I just sit there and I don't do anything, and I just kind of look around the environment, and then I click on and move on. So that game's great. I've really enjoyed the fact that I picked that up. And the other game I've been playing, it's not fully... I don't have a full build yet. It's still a preview build. I think it was the build that was actually at PAX. So, Andy, I don't even know if you saw it there, but it was Cook, Serve, Delicious.
I didn't see that
Yes.
on the show floor, but I might have missed it. It was a very busy show.
Yeah, they say that it was there, or the build says it's the PAX build. I don't know what that means by...
There might be another PAX.
Yeah, who knows? That game comes out in like days. It comes out September 13th, and I'm very excited for it. The build I have has a lot of things locked. So the career progression is locked. A lot of the writing still isn't in. So there's a lot of stuff I just don't know about it yet, but what's in there is amazing. The food looks so much better. It's even like a tad bit more complicated than the first one. And if you didn't play the first one, Cook Serve Delicious is a restaurant management sim?
It's like a rhythm game almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a simulation rhythm game, but it doesn't play off of music. You will open a restaurant and you have to set your menu. And when someone comes in and orders something, they're put into a slot, one of like a certain number. And you hit the button, usually like, hey, they came in slot number 2. You hit 2, it brings up what they're ordering. And then you hit the keyboard keys according to what they're ordering. So if it's like a hamburger, you hit maybe H and then enter, it cooks it. And then when it's done, you hit their number again, and then you hit the corresponding letters to whatever toppings, T for tomato, M for mayonnaise, C for cheese, and then you serve it to them. And you just get customers for the entire day. And you get rush hours, and you get overwhelmed, and you have to flush a toilet, you have to trap mice, you have to go take out the trash, and then a lot of the changes in the new one where you don't do dishes manually. You have to go in the back, put them in the automatic dishwasher. You have to sit there and wait for it to be done. as customers come in or their food is cooking. When you take out the trash now, instead of putting on individual trash bags like you used to have to, which is actually really annoying, you now put it out. And as the day progresses, if you have too much trash, you have to sit there and mash. You have to hit the M button to mash with your boot the fucking trash into the dumpster before coming back inside.
That's so good.
They've added things like, there are different restaurants. I don't know how this plays into the career, but different restaurants that you can play as instead of your own.
So
and go ahead.
They've talked about that a little.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on like the Steam page or something even. That's the progression is you like move from restaurant to restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Like you're playing a chef in this like area and you're basically trying to work your way up. I think there's a mode like that.
Okay.
Well, that's how the first one was too. Like you were moving, like it wasn't. There weren't as many like upgrades per se, but as you were going, you could make like slightly better food because your restaurant would go from like a 1-star restaurant to a 5-star restaurant as time went on.
Sort of. So like the first one was you had your own restaurant and you would earn money. You'd start with like hot dogs and fries and you would earn money and you could buy new food. And you had to keep your menu updated because if you didn't, it would have menu rot and people wouldn't come in and buy it. This one, you don't have... I assume you still have your own restaurant because there is a slot for that, but it has a huge list of other restaurants, and each one of those restaurants has their own set of menus, like 8 to 10 different menus, maybe more than that, and they all have a different theme. So like one's a sports bar, so you're going to be serving hot dogs, hamburgers, and beer. One is a hot dog place, and it's all hot dogs and fries. One is a pizza place, and it's all pizza. And as you go down the list... a lot of them are grayed out right now, but as you go down the list, you'll see like fancier places, and the more fancier places have like steak or fancy ass fucking desserts and stuff I can't pronounce. So that actually is really awesome because in the first game, you could very easily stick to certain foods. You could find like the 8 to 10 foods you like to prepare that are really easy for you to prepare and just rotate them out and just make bank. I like that this one is going to sit there and make you go like, no, if you don't like making steaks, oh well, you're going to have to go to this fancy restaurant at one point and make some steaks.
Mm-hmm.
And they've added other stuff. I guess you can design your own restaurant. The writing in it, there's only one food description in there right now, and it talks about the Great Molasses explosion or something and the Great Syrup avalanche. That's terrific. You have to like prep food in advance now. So you have to have like prep stations ready. And then in addition to normal cooking, it seems like they took everything from the first game and like added next logical step. I'm really excited for it to come out, and I can't wait for that to update. So, until then, that's so far my first impression is real positive, but I need to see how the rest of that is handled, because the first one certainly had like, it had the restaurant and then had like Iron Chef and had all this other weird stuff in it. And I really want to see what, or if the second one adds that stuff and how it handles it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. Yeah. Just some Pyre and some Cook Serve Delicious. And I'll probably remember some other game that I've been playing, like an hour after we end this podcast.
Michael, what's your restaurant named?
They don't let you name it yet. So, like I said, like a lot of that stuff's still locked off. Even some of the tutorials are just sentences. Like the first 4 are actual physical tutorials you sit there and do, and the rest are just like, side dishes are this. We haven't put them in yet. Like, cause you can make side dishes separately and they have nothing to do with your prep or your customers, and they will make your customers wait longer. Cause different restaurants will have a different average time people are willing to wait. So like a pizza place might have a larger wait because they expect the pizza to take a while, whereas a fancy restaurant, they may be filled with a bunch of uppity types. But if you put out some like fancy appetizer, they might be a little more chill, and that might double the amount of time they're willing to wait on you to give them their creme brulee or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of stuff in this game that they've seemingly added that makes it more complex, but also like simpler and easier in some ways. I can't wait for it to update and
How long
actually
has
give me
it
the full
been
game.
since the original?
A couple years. Let me look it up real quick.
I want to say like 2015.
Oh, I think it's been longer than that.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think
It was one of the-
2014, because...
2013.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy, because that was actually the first review that I did on the site.
Would you give it?
4, I think.
One star too low. Okay.
All right, Michael, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay, fair enough. I don't really have anything to talk about, honestly. I just played more Yakuza Kiwami and I talked that game to death. So let's just move on to news. We don't have too much news. So, Ryan, how about we start with you?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a game you probably haven't thought about in a hot second. It's L.A. Noire. Remember L.A. Noire?
Yes.
The 1940s detective game with the emotions and the faces everyone still makes fun of every now and then.
I never beat it.
Yeah, I played it, and I never beat it either, but I enjoyed it. You know,
Yeah.
it was not there were flaws. It is a flawed game, but I thought it was charming. I thought it was interesting. I liked what it was trying to do, and I liked the aesthetic. And, you know, that's enough for me. But if you haven't played L.A. Noire, if you're really hankering for some doubt, for some Tyrolean hats, for some gritty, hard-edged cops, L.A. Noire will be coming to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, and there will also be a spin-off virtual reality game for the HTC Vive. The release date on the console games are November 14th. There's no date on the VR game yet, so that's pretty interesting. It says here that the game will have enhancements, better texture, lighting, 1080p, 4K support on the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. So, you know, if you really need to see, what's his name? Cole Phelps? That's it, right?
Yes.
Thanks.
If you really need to see every pore on Cole Phelps' motion captured face, then, you know, you can do that. It doesn't say much about the Switch port, but the interesting thing here, and by interesting I mean part of a repeating pattern, is that the physical edition of Switch will cost, or for the Switch, will cost $50, while the editions for the PS4 and Xbox One will be $40. So, once again, the Switch physical edition of this game will be $10 more than its counterparts on other consoles. So, that's not particularly surprising with everything we've heard about the cart prices on the Switch, the manufacturing costs, the storage, etc., etc. But it's a little, disappointing when I'm like, hey, I could play L.A. Noire on the go, but I'm gonna have to pay $10 more. But I guess if I'm really invested, then, $10 more isn't that bad, but still.
It's for the physical version, and usually, I'm guessing it's just due to production costs.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
The
yeah,
shop
it
versions
is.
of those games are cheaper.
Yeah, I think the shop version will probably be $40. This doesn't say anything about that, but I think it's kind of an assumption. Not too much else to report on that as of yet. The VR game will be called the VR Case Files, and it's adapted some of the cases from the game proper into like self-contained things. I don't really know exactly what that's going to be, but I'm assuming you go in as like Cole Phelps and you do your thing with the HTC Vive.
Mhm.
But that's kind of the LA Noire news. I think that's interesting. Michael, I think before the show, it was you or somebody who mentioned that they might be doing this because they would like to put out a sequel to this game. That would be...
John said that.
John said that.
No, I didn't.
No, that was
Andy
me.
did.
Andy, well, I'm.
I think
just
I
call
said
me-
it. I think it was
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
That's why I said that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, now that we've completely derailed this conversation, this could show that they're interested in a sequel kind of thing. this could just be more of this wave of, putting out last generation games on new generation. I'm not gonna lie, I never finished this game, but I'm pretty interested in playing it on my Switch or on my PS4 because I think that'd be kind of cool.
I got a question.
So, yeah.
Did they make any mention about if this is going to be the complete edition with the DLC?
Yes. It says it will have all the downloadable content.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Some of that DLC was really good.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I only ever played the base game, so I'll have to look into this. I'm interested. So once November 14th rolls around, we'll see what happens.
Totally.
Yeah. Also, the box art's really good. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Michael, would you like to do yours real quick?
Speaking of Nintendo Switch and the sizes of things, you will soon require a micro SD card to play full versions of games on the Nintendo Switch if you buy the physical versions, because obviously you would download the other ones. Announcing it at a SanDisk event while also announcing specific SanDisk micro SD cards for the Switch, which may be not the place to announce this. Nintendo said that if you buy physical versions of certain games, which will be physically labeled on the box, starting actually with NBA 2K18, you will have to have a micro SD card to play portions of the game out of the box. So if you don't have the card, if you don't have the micro SD card, you will still be able to play parts of that game. So you won't be buying something that you can't play. But if you want everything that's offered, you will need additional storage to download or open a zip file to play full games. This won't be or maybe not obviously. Nintendo tried to emphasize that this won't be for every game going forward.
Yeah, of course.
But unless the Switch does something with internal storage, at some point, a lot of third-party games are going to have to require this because, NBA is unique. It has a lot of assets. It has a lot of music, licensed music that can't really, that I'm sure has some weird caveats of don't compress this too much. We want this dope-ass song to be great when you listen to it in the menus. But this is maybe not the best sign for the Switch. Luckily, it can take up to 2 terabyte micro SD cards. They actually sell those. I wouldn't want to buy one because that sounds expensive, but...
Yeah.
I could see them, putting out a SKU with an internal hard drive pretty soon, honestly.
Or just some kind of bundle that comes with an SD card.
Yeah, I'm surprised these aren't bundled with SD cards as is. I know it has internal storage now, but an internal hard drive would be expensive. To add, it would add bulk, it would add cost, it would add heating issues. So bundling with an SD card seems like the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it also seems ridiculous they didn't do that ahead of time.
All right. Thank you so much. Andy.
Hello.
So you broke some news.
Yeah, I did.
This weekend. Would you like to tell us about this?
Yeah, so, on the last day of PAX, I had the opportunity to interview Suda51, as we mentioned No More Heroes earlier. The full review's on the site. I'm a big fan of how that turned out. But the big story that came out of it was that Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, is not No More Heroes 3. It's me being me. What I immediately jumped to was that Kingdom Hearts 2.8 game that they put out. That's a prequel to 3.
Sure,
but Suda was very clear that this is not the wording is very weird, and I partially chalk this up to the fact that we were talking through a translator, and when you translate Japanese to English and English to Japanese, some nuance gets lost. He said that this isn't a spin-off and it's not a sequel, it's its own contained thing within that world. But then he also said that we will learn a bit about what Travis has been up to. So it's a little weird on what specifically like the plot content is going to be with regards to the with the UAA, the Assassins Association. That's not in this at all. He was very clear about that. He said that this was sort of a revenge thing with the father of Bad Girl from the first game. That's who the man in the trailer is.
I thought it was the Bad, but I think it's Bad Man.
Bad Man is his name, yeah.
Okay, Bad Man. Okay.
And then there's something going on with, like, the creator of the same system that's in Let It Die, created this game that sucks Travis into it, the Death Drive, yeah. And, I mean, it sounds great, but it is, like, worth mentioning that Suda said that if this game is successful, then No More Heroes 3 will happen, the proper follow-up to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which hadn't been reported on before. So, and, like, everyone just assumed this was the third game, but it's not. It's his own thing.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. It's, like, not an installment of, like, the greater story arc of that franchise. It's just like, hey, here's Travis Touchdown in a trailer, and a guy comes for revenge, and they get sucked into a video game. So here's, 15 hours of that, or whatever.
Yeah. I should say, it is still, like, a 3D action game. It is still the same type of game. People were worried it was going to be, like, an indie game, mini-game thing. It's not. It is still a 3D brawler. It's just not No More Heroes 3.
It still sounds like Suda's still trying to figure out exactly how all the indie games are going to be incorporated. Like, he mentioned in the interview that, there's going to be incorporation of the worlds of those indie games, but he's not sure, how that's going to be represented and, if the, main characters are going to show up. He was, trying to figure out if, Jacket from Hotline Miami would actually show up as, a character or, maybe someone you fight, maybe someone who helps you. I think he's still trying to nail that, or at the very least he's saying that, and maybe he does know, and he just doesn't want to let it slip yet.
Yeah, who knows?
It feels like kind of a combination of, they can't announce everything yet, and two, this is a game still in development.
Yeah.
That is something that can't really be stressed enough. Details could change and stuff like that. But, the one that always struck me was that he says he wants Jacket to be a physical character in the game, which I think would be a perfect fit.
Yeah. But yeah, there were some other things that he mentioned, though, that were interesting.
Yeah, do you want to go through that a little bit more?
Newsy. Would you like me to?
Go for it if you want.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, there's not really any other news, so I'll just talk about this. The one thing he said was that, Andy, you asked, what games would Suda like to, revisit as a remaster or a sequel, and the thing that Suda said he really wants to do is he wants to do a remaster of Killer 7. I mean, I don't know how big of news that is. I had heard that previously, just off the record, but, that is definitely something that a lot of people want. So I'm sure that if Suda can pull that off, that would be awesome. I do know that there are some rights issues there, because Capcom published Killer 7. But who knows? That would be something that I'm sure a lot of people would be into. And another thing that Suda mentioned to you is that Travis Strikes Again will most likely be playable on a single Joy-Con, maybe because of some sort of multiplayer. He's being a little cagey about that, about how the multiplayer will work and how that'll be integrated into the game, if there is any. But the strange thing is he said that a big reason why he was inspired to go down a multiplayer path was because he wants Travis Touchdown to be in Smash Brothers.
How did you feel hearing that, John?
I just kind of sat back and smiled and
you had one day of peace.
Yeah, I had it was a nice warmth that just spread through my body, just he believes in the same thing that I have believed for so long. And you know what? I even ignoring my selfish demands that I've been making for years and years and years, I do hope that Travis makes it into Smash.
Sure.
No More Heroes is a Nintendo, I wouldn't say a staple, but when you bring up, mature, games for Nintendo consoles where it's like, here's something that's like not just like for kids. No More Heroes is definitely something that comes up. And now that Bayonetta has been in, I think Travis deserves a shot. So I hope he makes it in. I really do.
Sure.
I think part of that hinges on the success of Travis Strikes Again as well, right? But I have a feeling that this game's going to do better with the time that's passed since the original. It's kind of built up more of a following.
Yeah, especially with the Hotline Miami tease at the beginning, because you know people are going to see that and be like, oh, fuck yes. Like, because that's kind of what it was for me. Like, you know, I love Hotline Miami, and seeing that contextualized with this dude with a baseball bat and this dude with a beam katana, like, even not knowing anything about the franchise, I was like, oh, I know exactly what kind of game this is going to be. I have to play this. So I think it'll do well. Like, maybe not like amazing, but well. So,
and I mean, you know, like, it's the Switch is selling really well, but the Switch is also like for a slightly different market than the Wii. And I feel like more people who are interested in that kind of game are buying Switches than they did buy Wiis. Like, Wiis were more of a mainstream audience sort of thing, and you know, the Switch is selling very well, and I'm sure some more like casual audiences are buying it.
It's also,
but at the same time, it's definitely something that like more hardcore games will feel more accustomed to.
Also worth noting that, like, this is like, we talked about this a little too, this is the 10th anniversary of No More Heroes this year. Which means that a lot of the people who might have been into that might have also been underage and not able to get it when it came out.
For sure.
So, I think, like, couple that with the fact that the Switch is a little more of a, for hardcore gamers,
for gamers with refined palates.
I'm more optimistic, I guess, than I was for like when No More Heroes 2 came out.
I'm gonna buy Travis Strikes Again. I'm gonna buy that day one.
Fucking hell yeah,
good
man.
God.
Well, it also has like an establishment, right? Like, No More Heroes comes out, it's like, what is this game? There's so much shovelware on the Wii. What is this thing? And so if it doesn't establish itself, you know, early, you can't gain a following. And even if No More Heroes 2 did come out and it did do better, like, to what end? You're on a really strange platform.
I mean, like, not only that, but like, since those games have come out, Grasshopper has sort of like become more well regarded with its action stuff, primarily because of Let It Die doing so well.
Yeah, they're a name. I feel like Suda is more of a name as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
And some of that is No More Heroes. Some of it is just, sometimes you don't make a game and have it be cook served delicious. Sometimes you have to go through a few iterations before you get something as good.
Shut the fuck up.
It's so good. You get to make things and the food just looks so good.
Can we move on? Are we done here?
I think we're done here.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Let's move on to questions, folks. Michael, would you?
You can send questions to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com or go over to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like people who ask questions do. Shoeless writes in and asks, what color would your lightsaber be and how many would you fight with?
Ooh.
Let's start with Andy.
Puke green. And half of one. I'm still in training. I don't have a license for a full one yet.
Just a halfy, just a little.
It's flaccid. It kind of goes like.
It droops.
Yeah, it's more like a whip.
It's a light whip.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe I'd go with a light club, but that's a little too big. Do you guys know about the different dumb types of lightsabers?
Of course I do. What are you talking about?
Trust me.
Well, I'm gonna get a lightsaber pike. Or I'm gonna have the dark saber, because I'm that guy.
Oh.
I'm my original OC, do not steal.
Darth Andicus.
Yeah.
John, what kind of lightsaber, what color, and how many?
That's a good question. I think I would probably be one of the one of those people to have the 2 lightsabers, just because I think that's really cool to just like have something to as a backup almost.
You don't trust yourself with one?
No. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about it. I don't remember where I saw it. But there was one character who had like a normal size lightsaber and then like a small like dagger size lightsaber. I think I would go with that.
I don't know if it was dagger size. That was. I know that in KOTOR you could do that, where it's just samurai stuff. I forget what this tiny sword is in samurai language, but some nerd is yelling at their podcast of all the names of all the swords ever. But yeah, it's sort of the same idea that you could have a long normal samurai sword and then a tiny one, a tiny min to hold.
Yeah,
Of course.
What colors?
I think I would go with blue. Both
Great.
blue.
Great. Real original.
What?
Real original.
What?
Real original. These puke green was fucking puke.
Oh, okay, then fine. Puke blue. Like,
I'll puke on your fucking blue. Ryan. Color?
Yeah.
And how many?
So I don't know. I wouldn't know jack shit about like using a lightsaber, like parrying with one or
Sure.
whatever, like being a professional lightsaber user.
Mm-hmm.
I think mine would be like Halloween orange, probably.
Great.
And I would have like 6 short ones because my lightsabers would be mounted on the back of my hands like Wolverine claws. And so instead of like learning how to use one, I could just like punch and kick and claw at people like a bat out of hell and hopefully land a few hits. So
I'd like to change my answer.
All right,
Okay.
Andy, you're rescinding your original answer.
My
and now
lightsaber would
you're
just
giving a new
be the Tsubaki Mark III from No More Heroes.
nice. That's one with like 4 blades, right?
No, that's the Mark II. The Mark III is
Okay.
the cool green one.
I believe
Sure.
if you were to go back and interview Suda about the lightsabers in No More Heroes, he would advise you that his lawyers would advise you that those aren't lightsabers.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. They're not. They're beam katanas, but I feel like they could beat a lightsaber.
Sure.
They might as well. They basically used the lightsaber sound effect in the first game. So
I would have,
anyway.
I would
Different.
have 4 silver lightsabers that I would attach to the hubcaps of my car. And no one would ever fucking get anywhere near me. It would be great.
Love Saints Row.
PSI Kick writes in and it says, "What's the best vegetable in video games?"
it's a good question.
Ooh.
It's the turnip thing in Super Mario Brothers 2, right?
It's an easy. That's the easy answer.
It's the right answer.
I have an answer. The great vegetables from Persona 4.
Okay.
I don't even remember that, but all right.
Yeah. Me neither.
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying
have
to think
you have the vegetable garden that you and Nanako take care of, and sometimes Dojima comes out and goes, "Great vegetables," and that's it.
Yeah, it's in Golden, not in the original.
Oh, okay.
Mushrooms.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are vegetables, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the mushroom heartless from Kingdom Hearts. Though.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
fucking nerds. Andy, you got one?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
You don't
Okay.
like
I
any
don't.
vegetables?
No. Celery's alright. I don't even like celery. Why did I say that?
Celery's not that
I
good.
mean,
Lettuce is
you
alright.
said it's all right.
Yeah, no, I think celery's bad. I don't know why I said it's alright.
What about tomatoes?
Tomatoes I fucking love.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, so the answer is tomatoes.
Just in general.
Okay. Maximum tomato. There you go.
Well,
Tomatoes are technically a fruit, but
I listen. It doesn't
oh
matter.
my god.
tomatoes are technically a sandwich, so
This is
Yeah,
my
there you
God.
go.
this is a discussion for clowns. This is first day at clown college. Introduce yourself. What's your favorite vegetable? Question. That's what this is.
I could go more obscure with tomatoes. How about Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom? Perhaps?
No one is impressed.
Oh
no
my
one is
God.
impressed. No one is impressed. Go back to your cage. Go.
Aw.
my favorite vegetable is the end from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Wow.
I mean, they're not wrong. That dude's that he's like 20% plant.
Yeah.
like his genetic structure. So
The other answer I had would spoil the very end of Metal Gear Solid 4, and I don't want to do that.
don't come on.
My favorite vegetable
Be
is whatever
nice.
the fucking plant monster in Halo 3 is.
Sure.
My favorite vegetable. Someone writes in and asks who decides the names of each episode. Poor Niall has to fucking sit through and
Niall.
decide what dumb thing to name this thing.
Yeah.
God bless you, Niall.
Anonymous asks, what kind of real-life experiences do you want to see more of in video games? I want more games that have clothes, shopping, and eating breakfast as a major component. Those are really specific wishes.
I really like that, though.
Yeah.
All right, David Cage.
No, David Cage would be, I want more games where you have to press 30 buttons to lift your hand to your face.
David Cage would actually
No.
be like, oh, I want more games that are good, because that's what I make.
See, I think Michael actually gave me the answer for this question earlier in the episode. I want more games where you have to take out the trash and then button mash to like make sure it fits in the dumpster, because that sounds incredible.
It is
My
incredible.
God.
It is incredible when you're just fucking mashing on the goddamn M button.
Yeah. Like, I think that's, like, as much as that game is padded out, I think that's something the first No More Heroes does really well with, like, its mini-games, like, just the banality of some of the stuff you have to do in that, like, pick up trash, and, like, use the Wiimote to, like, put it into your garbage can backpack, and, like, shake coconuts off trees, and that kind of crap, so, I don't know. It's if it's done well, I think stuff like that is amazing, but it just depends.
There is a game called Viscera Cleanup Detail,
Yeah.
and it is all based on you are the janitor or the cleanup crew that comes in after a first-person shooter has gone through, and your job is to take a mop and a bucket and pick up all the alien parts and throw them in an incinerator and, like, clean up all the alien blood. But every time you use the mop gets slowly dirtier, and then you have to go back to the bucket, dunk it into the water, and then go back, and then eventually your bucket gets dirty, so you have to go throw that in the incinerator and go back and get a new bucket. if you want fucking banality and something that stokes the OCD within all of us, that's your game. It's just cleaning up.
I feel like a game where you'd have to play as, like, a elementary school teacher could be weirdly interesting.
Huh. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Reverse persona. Instead of going every day, you're just yelling at them every day.
The Kawakami simulator.
No!
I'd play that.
All right.
said elementary
Anonymous writes in and asks, what animal would each of the crew's persona be in Sonic Forces? I'm gonna abstain from this question because I don't like it at all.
Come on, Michael.
So,
My
And
only
let's-
answer.
no,
my,
no,
I-
hold
I-
on.
my only answer is Big the Cat. So
Hold on.
'Cause
Let's
it's Sonic.
let's part the curtain on this episode a bit. Michael did not want to include this question in this segment because for some reason he has a moral he has a moral qualm against mentioning anthropomorphic animals on this show. I think. Michael,
you're right.
All you
I
have
don't
to
want to
do,
discuss personas.
all,
God.
Literally, all this question is asking is, what animal would you be if you were in a Sonic game? That's it.
literally,
There
it's
is
like,
no-
what character would you make in Sonic Forces?
There
the
is no
cat.
pretense here. There is no, like, underhanded, like, slip this fetish into this question going on here. It's literally asking you what animal you would be. And I don't understand why you're so bent out of shape about it.
And I answered Big the Cat.
So,
Okay, whatever.
my answer would be taking from Sonic Canon, because
Oh, finally.
I don't want to have something that has not followed a name the blank. I want to have something that's been in that blank space before.
Well,
So
Andy.
I would be Andy the Sniper after Fang the Sniper from Sonic Fighters.
Oh my god.
Andy,
I'd have a
I
gun.
do want to. I do want to just say, the question asker said it has to be a character from Sonic Forces.
Yeah.
So I have the list of characters from Sonic Forces
Oh,
that you
Lord.
can be here. So I will read what they are and what their ability is, which will maybe help us choose a little better.
Wait, hold on. But there's a character creator in Sonic Forces.
Yes.
It doesn't say pick a specific character from Sonic Forces.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's from the character creator. Like
Okay.
these are the animals that you can choose from, and they each have a special ability depending on what you pick.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a bear, Their special ability is that they can blow enemies away with your homing attack.
Oh my god.
The bird has a double jump. The cat keeps 1 ring after being hit. The dog restarts with 5 rings after you die. The hedgehog can collect rings while getting damaged. The rabbit has more invincibility frames after getting damaged. And the wolf automatically draws in rings when near them.
See,
So that's what you can choose from.
That's no fun, because I was going to say a raccoon, and I would have been Ryan the raccoon, and that would have been good. But since that's not an option, I guess I have to be like the rabbit, because that's an R word now. So that's okay, but not as much fun as a raccoon, I think.
Big dog.
There you go.
Big dog
Big
in
dog.
the building.
Big dog.
Yeah,
I would be a bird because I like double jumping.
sure.
Big dog.
All right, big dog.
Big dog in the building. Did everyone pick?
Yes.
I think so.
Did
Yeah.
you?
All right. I said Big the cat. As close
Yeah,
to Big
cat
the cat
fits.
as I can fucking
Cat
be.
fits.
Yeah, cat's there.
Big the dog and Big the cat.
Final question. You can send questions like these questions to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com or videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you'll sound like this ask. Takahashi must be protected at all costs. I have taken a solemn pledge. Will you?
Sorry, what?
Takahashi must be protected at all costs. I have taken the solemn pledge. Will you?
Yes.
I will
Who's
as well.
Takahashi? Who?
The keeper of Daryl.
Oh, then yes. Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Love seeing images of the stuffed cat. I have no idea what it's about, but I see that stuffed cat, and I'm like, I relate to this on the spiritual
real
level.
cat.
I think.
Name's Daryl.
Okay.
He's alive.
Yeah.
Well, let's not split hairs here.
Daryl's safe, and Daryl's ready to do battle with those who harm.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Daryl is
You know what?
purity.
I just like the cat.
Me too.
I just like the cat.
Me too. Okay. Thank you for listening, everyone. We have a shit ton of reviews on the site. So please take some time and read over them. By the time you listen to this, there should be an Absolver review. There is the Mario plus Rabbids review. There was Michael wrote a review for Rock of Ages 2. We have an Absolver video, if you'd also like to see that. We might have another video by the time you listen to this, if not soon after. We're getting stuff out there, so just keep looking at the site for more. That's videogamechoochoo.com if you want to see that. Follow us on Twitter at VGChoochoo. That'll also keep you up to date on everything that goes down. Our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. And go on iTunes, subscribe, and rate us and review us, because that helps everyone to see our stuff. Trying to think of anything else? We also have a Discord. If you would like to join our Discord and hang out and chat, talk about anime, talk about tabletop games. A lot of people have been talking about tabletop games in the Discord, so if you like tabletop, I guess our Discord is a good place to hang out. So yeah, come on in. It's at thegamezone.zone. You'll probably be able to find a link to that in the podcast description. Thanks again so much for listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. See y'all later.